What's up? Just JP at the house. Anyway, I was talking to a couple of homies out here, and their brothers and stuff. And one brother went to the mall, the other brother last night was hanging out and stuff. And these guys, they get bored and they say, hey, I want to go out, have some fun, talk to some girls. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I'll take them around, so they can find whatever girls and want to talk to them and stuff like that. Then, here comes the excuses. When they see a girl, last night I was with one homie, and we got in the elevator, and two girls were in there, and they were fine, Well, one was real alright, they were dressing nice anyway. And I said, hey, oh, what's up? How you doing? Like laughing, hey, how you doing? I was asking their names and stuff, and the friend didn't say anything. Then, when we got out the elevator, he saw these other two girls walking in while we were walking out. I was like, whoa, what's up, And it got to the point where he was like, hey, why don't you talk to this girl? And I want to talk to this kind of girl. I'm like, well, go say it yourself, And then here come all these excuses and stuff like that. And then what trips me out is I don't understand why would I don't know, maybe it's just youth, but one guy's over 30, so he shouldn't have no excuse. The other guy, he was 19, so I can understand him. But it was like, why don't you go over there and tell the girl this and this for me? And I'm like, what? I'm like, man, I don't have to abide to my rule number 5 on my video, how to pick up women for dummies and stuff, where you go pick up girls to your other friends and stuff. I don't do that. You got a girl you like, you just go over there and say hi. And the whole night, man, I'm just hearing all these excuses and I'm saying, well, you just got to do this. And it was funny because we were hanging out in front of Garden Parks, and Wayne came over, right? And Wayne, man, he was like a little drink. He was drinking the stuff, not too drunk or anything like that, but he's a little buzzed. And we were talking to these 3 girls. Well, me and my friend was talking to these 3 girls, and they were like all 20 years old and stuff. And oh man, without no makeup, they looked one thing. They showed us the pictures when they had their makeup. My God, they were cute. But without their makeup, it's like really different, man. It's a trip. You guys really need to see that. It's really interesting. And so the homie and stuff, he was just talking, making all these excuses and stuff about why, I should talk to these girls for him and what he wanted me to say to them in Japanese and stuff. And I was getting really upset. And I was like, man, why don't you just go on over there and say hi? But I can't speak Japanese and da-da-da-da. And maybe, maybe it's because, I guess, maybe I'm black or some people don't believe me. But Wayne came over, man, and Wayne told him the exact same thing. And not only did Wayne show him, tell him, but Wayne showed him, and it was funny. And Wayne was like, girl, I just did what Ralph said, because dude was like, how long you been here? 1.5 years. He said, I just met Ralph, he told me what to do, and I just did it. It works. And I was like, dang. Then the homeboy was like, oh, okay, now I understand because I see it. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was really upset. I was like, yo, man, listen, man, you got to stop asking me to say these things for these, pick up girls for you and stuff like that. I said, I do not do that. I just don't do that. It's just something I just don't do. I used to do that when I was in Venice and stuff, and I was a real good matchmaker and stuff, but I just stopped, And then there was his other brother, he's like 19 years old. We went to Q's Mall, and the whole day, man, all he was talking about was these excuses why he couldn't talk to these girls. Like, he'll see a girl, well, I would go talk to her, but maybe she don't like me and she this, and like that video I had, stop making up stuff in your head. And I'm like, man, that's some serious stuff, man. You guys gotta clear your heads, because Wayne said the same thing. I told Wayne the same thing, and Wayne on the stage said, like, and he told homeboy, he said, like, yo, man, when you come to Japan, you gotta have an empty slate. You gotta clear your whole mind and delete everything. And learn again from the beginning, you know. He said some other word like boot up again from the beginning, or some, reprogram yourself or something like that, because, you know, what's going on in the States, that stuff ain't happening here, you know, and it's just straight up. So, if you guys come out here and you really want to talk to some girls, you know, you come out here, I'll give you little pointers and stuff like that. But after that, don't ask me to talk to some girl to say this in Japanese. You speak English. A lot of them speak English, and the more you speak English to them, the more they'll get comfortable and start speaking back and stuff. And if they say they don't speak English, then fine, you know, just teach them right there on the spot, because some of these girls have some serious, fast, hyper learning English. What is it called? Retention. High-tech minds, because they all say like, well, I don't speak Japanese. You're like, okay, where you go? Oh, well, you know, next thing you know, they just blubbering off in English and stuff. But you know, I'm complaining and stuff, you know. So if you come out here and things like that, you know, because I got things to do too, and you know, I don't mind hanging. You know, I love hanging out with brothers, you know, people, and it don't matter who you are. You can be purple, green, orange, a stick plant or whatever. I don't care. You know, hang out, have fun and stuff like that. But you start complaining about why you can't talk to a woman. You know, I ain't got time to listen to that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I mean, I did that twice. I can just imagine going to a mall listening to some dude. No disrespect to him, but listen to some dude complaining about why he can't talk to girls, or why he thinks some girl won't talk to him. You know, all this stuff. Man, the mind is a beautiful thing, man. I mean, all these excuses. I was like, damn, it got to the point where I just started flicking, you know, just going through my telephone playing chess and stuff, and I'll just sit down like, man, just go, you know, and it was a trip, and then, you know, I was like, dang, you know, just do this, just do that. And he finally did it. It's one incident, and things worked out. I said, man, thanks, you know, you didn't give me dinner or nothing like that. You know, I probably won't get it until he comes back. Probably forget, but he'll probably forget. But anyway, it's just a trip, though, and it's really not cool to hang out with a guy that only talks about why he thinks some girl won't talk to him, and he didn't even put forth an effort. I mean, he didn't even say hi, nothing, you know, and it's not good, you know, and I don't like it, you know. So if you're gonna come out here, I'm telling you now, if you're gonna come out here and you start complaining about that stuff, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. And if you don't stop, I'm gone. I'm like, yo, G, I'm out, because I ain't got time to be listening to this stuff, because I got a wife at home, you know what I'm saying? And she don't even be nagging and stuff. I mean, you know, I might hear about the business stuff, but she don't be nagging about all of that stuff, you know. And if she do, I mean, that's fine, because I got to put up with her and stuff like that. But I ain't got to put up with no guy, man, talking about, you know, I would go talk to her, but you know, I only remember some of the stuff that they be saying. Like, well, I don't know if they're gonna like me, and I'm like, well, you gotta make them like you. But you know, I know, but still I don't know, cause you know, I'll talk to a girl for 5 minutes and then I'll run out of things to say, and after that, you know, I don't know if she's interested or not, and then this, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, don't even worry about that, because you know, she's not interested. I don't know, but why you making up all this stuff in your head? Well, you know this. And I was just like, man, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. But anyway, you guys just chill out. You know, you come out here, you tell me what you want to do. You want to pick up girls, fine. You know, but I ain't picking on no women for you. You know, I'm not doing that. I ain't about to do that. I don't do that. You know, I'll go talk to a girl if I like her and stuff, and her friend there, you know, and if you ain't talking to her, then that's on you. You know, I ain't getting no numbers and nothing, all of that stuff. You guys got to do that stuff yourself. But like I said, if you start complaining about why you can't get no girl and stuff like that, then, you know, after 5 minutes or whatever, I'm out. You know, I'm gone, and I'm serious, because it's not fun. You know, I come out here, when I go out, you know, I like to enjoy myself. You know, not to hear people complain about why they can't pick up no girl. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.